MD is the biggest and baddest hardcore bodybuilding mag and website in the world. MD is #1, no bull.
David Baye here for MuscularDevelopment.com. I am here with Juan Morel at the 2014 IFBB New York Pro, just hanging out in the hotel room the night before the show. Juan's getting ready to turn down for the night, so just want to talk to you a little bit. You're coming off of a huge second place finish at the Arnold, Brazil. Obviously, every show you're going into, including the one tomorrow, you're looking to win. I haven't obviously had a chance to talk to you after Brazil. I don't know if a lot of people had a chance to see the interviews. Tell us a little bit, about how you felt coming off your second place finish in Brazil and some of the things that you've done in preparation for New York, maybe the same or different that you did over the past few weeks from your previous show.
Coming off that second was great. I mean, I had a lot of fun. To me, that whole experience was a lot of fun. I mean, I went out there and it was pure excitement and fun. That's all I can say. I mean, I had a blast and it was great. I mean, I think, I was amongst great competitors, John, Steve. I respect every single one, and I respect their placings. Some might not agree with wherever they place. I accept it. I never have any complaints. I just feel that I brought my best in that day, and, my best wasn't good enough. And I was happy with what I brought, so that made myself, I felt like I had a mission accomplished, so,
Yeah, that's one of the things about competing at any level, regardless of the fact that everybody's training to win. And yeah, I hate to sound like we're talking about little kids who get participation ribbons, but there is a lot to be said for coming in at your all-time best, regardless of how you place. Now, if you place second at a show like that with the lineup that they had there, even better. Now, coming into New York, obviously you were pretty sharp in Brazil, good enough for a second-place spot in a very competitive lineup. Was there anything that you looked at from your prep for Brazil while getting ready for New York and said, hey, I'm going to make this change, or I'm going to, switch up X, Y, Z, or was it pretty much stick with the game plan from Brazil?
Well, one thing I didn't want to mention until pretty much now, I've never depleted into a show. Everybody knows I go into and I carb up. I tried something different, and I depleted into a show, and we depleted, to me, like 200 grams was depleted. I did that for 3 days. And it put me to the point that I just got really flat. So I was like trying to carb up and trying to bounce back up and, fill up. So I really wasn't my fullest. So I was kind of flat. Even though I was very happy with my look, I didn't have that, I was in really extreme good condition. I didn't have that graininess because my muscle wasn't pushing out through the skin. Well, this time around, I went back and I focused on I say I because I did my own prep. This has been no me, no coach, just stuff that I learned in the past while working with a coach. And I saw it. I made the mistake was by carb depleting, and this time around I went back to my usual start, 1,000 grams of carbs, going into the show, and some days a little higher. And I didn't do the junk food like I did at Tampa. I just straight clean carbs. So you should expect a fuller, drier version of myself tomorrow. A few pounds heavier, and feel like I'll have a better look.
Yeah, I know when I interviewed you in Tampa, that was one of the things that I kind of joked about, and you kind of set me straight. I was like, oh, that sounds rough eating Oreos, but you said you get so used to it that it's no different than eating your normal food. So what prompted the change between a carb up on junk food towards more traditional carb up foods?
Well, at New York last year, which was I had a phenomenon condition, I did the junk load, but not to the excessive amount I did at Tampa. Tampa, I just went beyond and tried to say, like, oh, well, let me just go crazy and just pretty much eat junk.
See what happens.
Yeah. I was going into New York. I did a junk here, junk there. Well, this time around, I decided, well, instead of adding junk, let's start adding honey to my clean foods and getting those simple sugars, but through a different kind of sugar, not with all that crazy sodium and all that stuff. So I did that for Brazil. It worked. I didn't spill. So this time around, since I was a little flat, but I started carving up earlier, believe it or not, I was still eating all that food. I was still flat to like maybe halfway through the day. That's when I started like feeling out pretty well. And but I'm happy with what I'm bringing tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna be fuller, and I'm gonna be. I believe I'm gonna be drier because compared my pictures from the day before Brazil and the day before New York now, when my conditions grainier. So hopefully, just have a better package. All I could do is be my best and not worry about anybody else. I know Rami's coming. I know John, Lionel. To me, it's all in fun. I mean, why? When you have such a great lineup, that should be something that you would thrive for, something that you want to be competing against the best. Because if you place, first, second, third, or fourth in an amazing lineup, that's, speaks volume. Why go to a weak lineup and place third, fourth, and then, you go to a lineup like this and you're not even going to be able to play. So regardless of the fact, I think, I have a lot of respect for all these competitors. Everybody knows me and John are like brothers, best friend. Lionel's a great dude. I don't know him too well, but times I've seen him, he's a great dude. Rami, man, the guy's a sweetheart, humble. I have a lot of respect for him. I think the guy's an amazing athlete. He's huge and he's out of this world. So, really he has to be off. And I'm saying this on record for anybody to beat him. So, I mean, people can knock me, hey, you should be thriving for first. I am aiming for first, and hopefully I condition. But unless he's off, the guy has too much muscle. And, no, I'm not scared around me. Last time I joked around on stage, have some fun. People took it to the wrong way. Humor up people, laugh, enjoy life.
I personally, I thought it was great. I thought it was
People
great.
took it like I was just like I was scared. I wasn't scared. I'm not scared of no man. I'm not scared of nobody. I grew up in East New York, and one of the toughest neighborhoods. In order to survive that neighborhood, you can't be pretty much no punk. And I have a lot of respect for individuals. I respect everybody. And I respect Rami a lot, and I'm just speaking the truth. The guy's a monster, and I just like to have fun. When I'm on stage, anybody who sees me knows I have passion for the sport. I love it. I have such a good time. And, it's all about fun. I mean, that's what I did last year. Obviously, won't do that again this year, so, people don't take it like I'm being scared. I thrive for competition. I want to be there and fight against the best. And, hopefully, like I said, hopefully, I have strong points. He has his strong points. And, unless the guy's off, nobody's beating him. That's my opinion. And that's just, not trying to knock myself down, but that's just what I believe.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just being realistic, and I'm sure you've seen it and everybody else has seen it. This is a sport and an industry where a lot of people have their head up in the clouds or off in space or God knows where. And I don't think it's a knock against you. I don't think it's a knock against anybody. When you see a guy as massive as he is, and we know he's going to be in halfway decent condition, to say, hey, I'm going to go out and do my best. Personally, I thought it was great. You guys having a little bit of fun on stage. You just kind of saying like, the dude's a freak. I can't imagine anybody was actually looking at that video and saying, "Oh, Juan is scared." I mean, I think
you see in the forums, people always bring that up and stuff like that, and I'm like, I laugh because I'm like, these people have no clue what they're talking about. They just want gossip and find something negative to talk about, something negative to push a person down. You can't push me down, guys. I mean, I've been through a lot. I've been to hell and back, and you guys can say whatever. One thing about me is I'm always positive, and I'm always gonna stay positive. So. You guys could feed me all the negative things. I have a lot of fans who support me and a lot of people who are positive. And to those, thank you. And to those who are not positive and give me a little bit of hell, you know what? I love you guys too. And you're not going to get no negative things out of me, I mean? Obviously, a keyboard is a whole different story. And, everybody's a big man behind the computer. But, in real life, I just get from every single person I get is respect. And I show respect back. I'm a very respectful individual. I love everybody. And, I'm going to live my life in a positive manner, not negative. And being positive is going to make me be successful. It's just who I am, and not trying to be fake, not trying to be, like somebody that I'm not. Anybody who knows me off the camera or just in general in life, is who I am. You know, I'm a family man. I love my family. I travel everywhere with my family. I'm with my wife everywhere I go. Everybody sees her. She's never left behind. You know, if I was such a bad guy, why would I have so much bad support? But, you know, all you guys know me better than I know myself. So, you know, I guess you guys all are correct about me, you know.
Well, you know, I think, you know, the boards are a place to have some fun, but you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of guys who are going to have.
There's a lot of disrespectful people. And, you know, I've been staying off the board the last week, meaning I haven't been.
So a lot of people should, yeah.
I haven't been commenting, but I've been reading, and I'm like, wow, these guys are so disrespectful. Like, it's just insane how they'll sit there and talk bad about every single competitor. It's not just me, it's just in general. Like, you know, I'm like, these guys are professional athletes. They work hard to get where they're at. And, you know, it's a lot of hard work for some people just to come and just talk crap and talk bad about them. Or, you know, this person needs this person needs that. Yeah, we all know what we need and what we need to work on. But it's just, you know, it's a work in progress. You know, give these people their respect. This is a lot of hard work. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. And even guys who are in the amateur level that do it, tons of respect, because you guys go through the same thing. It's just a time where some individuals have what it takes to become a professional, some don't. But, you know, I mean, my hat's off to every athlete.
All right, much appreciated. And I'm just gonna, you know, wrap things up with just kind of a personal note on what Juan said. And there's, you know, there's one thing you guys got to consider when you're on the boards. It's like, I'm a big football fan. I can follow baseball and NBA during the playoffs, and it's easy to sit behind your TV and say, well, that was a shitty pass, or that was a horrible play, or something like that. And, you know, I'm from Wisconsin. Aaron Rodgers is never gonna hear what I have to say about him, or it's never gonna come across, you know, his desk or anything like that. And the thing that you guys got to realize, and it's a good thing about the sport of bodybuilding, is that we have such close contact with the athletes. I mean, how many other sports can you sit down and type on a keyboard and get a response from, you know, one of your favorite pros? And I think it gets lost a little bit on the internet. And this might sound cliche or whatever, that you're a real dude. You know, I'm standing here next to you, and I think it's so easy for so many people, especially considering that a lot of the people that are on the boards, they don't go to the pro shows, and, you know, it's hard to get to the pro shows being as far as away. They haven't been to the expos. They haven't met the people. So there's this disconnect, just because it's like, it's just the internet. It's just a keyboard, and it's easy to forget that, you know what, guys, there are athletes on the other side of the board, and they do read the comments and stuff. And it's a rarity in professional sports that the fans get to have as close a contact with the professionals as we do in bodybuilding. So while you are on the boards, obviously, you know, part of muscular development is being able to say what you want to say, no bull attitude. But just remember, when you are typing stuff, there's somebody on the other end of it that's reading it, that, you know, it's not like other sports where it's a closer knit community, and in the things you say, they do make it back to the pros. So keep that in mind. All that being said, I'm going to shut up, let Juan get back to his room.
I just want to say one thing about exactly what you said. And I'm one of the athletes that do enjoy to give feedback to the fans, because I remember I am still a fan, believe it or not. But you know, I mean, I like to interact. You know, I love to interact and answer questions and just be there. Like, you know, I get on the board, somebody asks me a question, I love to just interact with them. It's just something that I enjoy. So I don't, you know, have to do that. You know, obviously I can just, you know, go on the boards once a month, you know, whatever. But I like to interact, and, you know, just, there's not a lot of pros that do that. You know, a lot of people avoid the boards because of the negativity. And with the negativity, I still go back and I still talk. And, yeah, okay, I might not be liked by a lot of people for whatever reason, which, you know, they believe and they think about me. And, you know what, you can judge me all you want. Until you know me, you don't judge me. If you know me from before, from my past, you know me from now, there's a reason why I have every single friend of mine that's from my past that's still my friends. There's a reason why I have my family who has, you know, my back and are there for me. I mean, there's a reason why I have so many people behind me, and it's not because I'm a jerk or an asshole and that I've done things that people want to put, you know, false statements about just because they've read something. You could read anything. I mean, you know, people can make anything, any lies about you or whatever, and is it true? Not necessarily, but if they believe it, I guess so. But I mean, sometimes people let it go. Judge the person for who they are now. I mean, if you know, whatever happened in the past is the past. What am I doing now? I'm not going around doing anything. You know, I'm living my very positive, a very living, enjoying my life. So, I mean,
well, and that's all you can ask of anybody. And speaking of judging, we are going to hope that everybody leaves all that stuff aside and they just judge you for what you bring to the stage tomorrow. So for myself and everybody at musculardevelopment.com who is a big Juan Morel fan, wish you the best of luck tomorrow, although we probably know you're not going to need it if you look anything like you did in Brazil. But we're going to throw that out for you. Yeah, he's ready. He's ready for sure, guys. So again, we're going to wrap it up. For musculardevelopment.com, this is David Baye with Juan Morel from the 2014 IFBB New York Pro.
MD is the biggest and baddest hardcore bodybuilding mag and website in the world. MD is #1. No bull.